Should be a good one. Yeah, we returned, most of our players and just graduated one, and just really looking forward to it. Have some experience coming back and some freshmen I think that will help, and just a year wiser and some depth this year, some size, some athleticism, some scoring. So really excited about it.
Who do you consider the building blocks of this club? Proven entities that you can rely on?
Yes, great question. I would say it's a great question because of our starting lineup situation last year, and how many different lineups we had.
How many different lineups did you have?
A bunch.
I'll have to double check. I think it was 11.
11 is what came to mind.
Okay.
I think, Sarita Condi ended this season as a building block. Justice Sweat. Taylor Dunham had a good year, was on the rookie team. Hannah Fensky started every game at the point. Well, not every game, but started every game, I'm pretty sure. But finished the year starting all the Patriot League games at the point. So I guess we have to start there.
Among bigs, who has anyone stepped up in preseason? Obviously, Sarah Riley had a pretty good year last year. Perry was up and down, I would say, would be fair to say.
Yeah.
How are your bigs looking?
Yeah, Haley Unger started every game, but one at a post, and we're hoping that she can have a good season. Sarah Riley had a really nice season when she played. She had injury for most of the Patriot League season.
Right.
And I think because of that, people didn't really realize what her numbers were like and the impact that she'd really had because it was early in the year. Had she stayed healthy, I think she's someone that we would be talking about as someone to really look forward to this year.
What was the nature of her injury again, Steph?
Shin problems.
Shin splints type thing.
Yeah. Marina Munster had some really nice moments last year. Has good size. You mentioned Perry Curtis. Some things really come naturally to her as a senior, our only fourth-year player. So she has moments and is just trying to find a way to finish. I think if she can do that, she could really play some key minutes for us. And then we have a freshman coming off the bench, Peyton Winters, who has some good size, and then Makeba Defang, a sophomore that didn't get time last year but has shown some improvement this year. So yeah.
Okay. Well, that was the next question. You mentioned freshmen that could help. Winters would be top of the list. 6'2", obviously that's nice size. She's pretty mobile at 6'2".
Yeah. I wouldn't say she's at the top of the list of freshmen that will impact, but she is. She's agile. She's smart, really intelligent. Good wingspan, is really, really imposing defensively. Not just in terms of shots, altering shots, but trying to get the ball in bounds against her. If she's in a trapping situation. So. Just, she's someone that's probably going to be defense rebounding, before her offense comes along as a freshman. But we're hoping that she can impact that way.
Do you feel like you're going to be closer to a set 5 or 6 going in, as opposed to let's keep throwing the balls up in the air and see how this shakes in a month, or
Yeah. It's too early to know. Last year I did what I always do, our whole staff, makes some choices early in the year, and then we see kind of how those kids do. We certainly don't have a quick hook on people. Last year, I think we had a 4-game winning streak with Taylor Dunham coming off the bench. We go out to Portland, Oregon, to play Portland State. She'd been terrific, so I put her in the starting lineup, and we lose that game. And it was our only really bad loss of the year. They were not a very good team. So, it seemed like the procedure that I usually use was going to work, but it didn't work for us that game. So I think there could be a lot of people really competing for playing time, and if that means starting roles, then it might.
Well, what's in terms of like the number that would make up a rotation in your mind right now?
Yeah.
Do you think you could go to war with 9 to start the year? Could it be 11 and you just see how fast you can get it down to 8 or 9, or
Yeah.
how does that
Good
look
question,
at this
yeah.
early stage?
You know, we're trying to have some, maybe play a little bit more tempo in a way that we feel like we have some depth, and so maybe we can kind of fatigue teams, and our level of play will stay solid. And so if we can do that, you know, I think we could play 10 or 11. A lot of coaches say that, like at the start of a year. It doesn't always pan out. They sometimes do find like those 9 kids that they really rely on, and you know, maybe the up-tempo stuff just, you know, doesn't work. So we have to see, you know, trying to do some different things defensively to create tempo, try to push it in transition. We have, you know, a new offensive set that's kind of good in transition that I think could get us some quick shots. So that's the plan. And the players just have to make it look good.
How big is it to have a point guard that's got seasoning to speak of?
Yeah.
It's played as many minutes.
It's good. Yeah. Hannah Fensky, she had surgery on her shoulder last spring. And it was literally like this window, like we were very strategic, you know, when will she be healthy and back after the surgery. It's a surgery that some players, you know, choose not to do because the recovery window is kind of so long, but it made sense to do it. I'm not sure we had a choice with her injury, but sometimes people do with that one. Anyway, so she's back, yeah, and just doing well, really smart. And yeah, I think it makes it a big difference. You can just see how other people, she helps other people look good, you know, with just her decision making and really unselfish. And fortunately, she also has increased her own like scoring threat this year, so that will only help other people look good still, you know, because she'll get more attention.
Do you feel like in a way you almost have 2 floor leaders with her and Taylor? I mean, Taylor handles the ball quite a bit.
Yeah, I would say Sarita Condi's kind of moved into that backup point guard role right now.
Okay.
Danny Poblarp was our starting point guard at the start of last year. Hannah played the 2. And Danny's been missing with some injury, and so, but she's back practicing now, so we're not sure. But so my point is Sarita's had to get a lot of reps at the point the last 3 weeks, and she's doing well with it, and so I think she's probably our backup point guard right now.
So is Taylor likely your starting 2?
Who knows? You know, I think Sarita might be our starting 2.
Really?
Yeah.
And then Taylor will come in, and if you want to move around at the point guard position or play 3 guards or...
Exactly, yeah. We have some sets that I think will allow for 3 smallish guards. But this is where, yeah, it's like, I think lately the young woman that's had a really nice week leading up to today, Ashanti Kennedy, a junior, who's like 5'9", you know, 5'8", so has some size, and so, you know, it's Justice Sweat could play the 3, you know, so if we have someone that's really saying like, you know, you can't keep me off the floor as a 3, you know, so that would impact whether or not we go with 3 small guards too. I mean, Taylor's definitely has been playing good enough to be a starter, no question about it. So she's had a nice preseason.
Are they playing faster now just because they've had time to
Yeah.
go through the fire a little bit? Do you see that in practice? Tempo, just not thinking about plays, just playing?
Right. A little bit, yeah. Fortunately, we kept, you know, some of the same sets too, so I think that helps. Sometimes I can really tinker with things from year to year, but this year we've kept some stuff from last year. And boy, if we could execute them with speed, it's even harder for us to guard. And, you know, to give you an example, last year we had 5 different plays that all sort of had a call, and we kind of combined them this year and added a couple wrinkles, and so just something like that, you know, where we more are like reading what happens than necessarily calling plays. And Yeah.
Any non-conference games that kind of stick out to you that'll be challenges? Maybe tell you where you are going into conference? Kansas is
Well,
pretty
Yeah, right off the bat, Hofstra's good.
good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're in that league with James Madison. And,
Are they in the America Colonial or America East?
nope. Is it the Colonial?
I think it's
Yeah,
Colonial.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Delaware's in that league.
Yeah, it's a Colonial.
Yeah, those are three good women's basketball programs. Obviously, James Madison's the best, but yeah, Hofstra has a really good guard that's actually from Virginia. It's a junior now, and yeah, so they'll be good. And our openers, I mean, these are two teams we lost to last year: North Carolina A&T on the road by 1 or 2, I think. Elon, we play them a couple nights later here. Close. Maybe it wasn't so close. Lost to them last year. But good game. Good game. Then our tournament, I think Siena will be tough. And then, we'd really like to win that game and get a chance to play Colorado State, who's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably the most talented team kind of on our schedule.
Really? Okay.
Yep. And then, Penn beat us last year. That'll be a tough game with what they do. They've become really the second best team in the Ivy League behind Princeton, like year in and year out, so that's a good game. Kansas, obviously, new coach. But, yeah. And then Air Force. Got Air Force back on the schedule.